Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome. What's up? What's up? What's up? How you guys doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world. Welcome to the ZBrush. welcome, welcome to the ZBrush session of Brendon Isaiah Bengtson. Ma, wah. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Today we're going to. I know that I got everybody all excited for some hard surface stuff, but today we are going to do organics. Alright, guys. This is just a fairly quick block out. I think I did this probably within, I don't know, maybe 2 hours or so of just futzing around, getting something that I kind of wanted to start with. So this is a little bit of a base of what I want to kind of keep going on. So I really wanted to do some actual sculpting today instead of some hard surface work. Take a little break from that. So, and I figured we could futz around with a little bit of the 2020 stuff. As a side note, I have not had much time with 2020. So this is actually my first real foray into it, and we're just gonna, we're just gonna figure it out as we go. So I watched a little Pavlovich, and a little Paul, and we should be able to, we should be able to figure out what's going on. Okay, what do we got? Old SNES. Demon's Quest? Haha, nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, I mean, when you get to a point, I don't know, maybe it was 3 hours or something like that. I don't know. It hasn't been too long on this. And the idea is that, the more sculpting that you do, the more base meshes that you start out with, the quicker you can get to something where you can start posing and really getting some character into it, the better. Because if you know your anatomy and you feel, yeah, Prasanna. If you go to my website, which is right there, you should be able to get in contact with me that way. Prasanna. Manual retapo. Yeah, we still have to. They they didn't give us all of their all the UV tools that they've been working on. Apparently that isn't ready yet. So they did give us some, which is awesome. New tools for manual retapo. Not yet. All right. So what I want to do with this guy is I kind of want to work on his face and just kind of nail down his pose and just kind of start rocking on this guy. So I think I'll... Oh, the Zizu. Yeah. That's another good place that you can start, right? So like if we go to... Oh god, where is the zoo in here? Zizu. Like you could even start with some of these guys and then just get into a creature relatively quickly. Pose it up, adaptive skin that bad boy, and then you can get going. Dude, how do you come up with this many? That's crazy. Oh, Shane. Like the ant, that one's kind of cool. Anywho, All right. So let's get to town. So what I really the other half of what I'd like to do today, and let's actually do this real quick. We are going to add a new text, and we're gonna call this Q and A with BIB on character art in the video game industry. That's what we're gonna do. Oh man. Q. Hold on one second, guys. Q&A with BIB on character art in the video game industry. So what I would like to do is, while we're kind of sculpting, this is our main topic for today. So if you would like to know about character art in the video game industry, these are some of the topics that we can discuss, and I can answer some questions while we sculpt. So it's a little bit of a jam session today. Jam. Like peach jam. What's up, Stefano? How you doing? Joanna, what's up? A person... Yes. It's a good ways to start with creatures. Great. Fantastic ways. Let's see. What do I got here? You know what? I don't necessarily need to have Sculptors Pro on. There we go. Okay, so now that we have him a little bit more posed up, I can really kind of squash and stretch some stuff. And these are great ways to do anatomy practice as well. I always try to sculpt out of symmetry when I'm doing sculpts like this. I always try to sculpt out of symmetry because it's really, really good practice. So, you guys have any questions about working in the video game industry as a character artist? Anything from, a typical day to, should demons have belly buttons, those types of things. Welcome to share. A really cool thing that I learned not too long ago about the hip, like this part of the hip, like where the ilium comes in, and how the where the muscles connect. It's pretty cool. So usually what's up, Stefano? What I used to think was that the top part of the thigh connected to the front part of the iliac crest, right? You got the ilium that comes in here, the superior anterior protuberance of the iliac crest. Those are my big words for the day. But right, so let's see if we just kind of map out where the iliac is, right? So it kind of comes like this. Right, and the muscles are attaching here. So you've got the front of it here, and then it kind of comes back like this. Right? So what's cool is that this muscle, that one here, the rectus femoris, actually comes in, and it, instead of it attaching here where I thought it attached, it actually attaches in here, which is pretty cool. That's why you get this kind of no man's land of, you're like, what? You have this landmark here, and then you're like, there's like a distance there. That's why. So because this major muscle group comes in and connects underneath here, and your sartorius, which is the one that kind of comes this way, that's the one that connects up there. So that's where you have that kind of this like, anyhow. So there's usually a little bit of a kind of a plane right here, and then that goes on there. All right. Let's give him a little bit more of a butt, though. Gotta be able to support. Gotta support them legs. Daddy needs a new pair of legs. All right. So some of the things that some of the quick shortcuts that I usually take. I've sculpted enough hands and feet that I don't really want to have to kind of do them from scratch every single time. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll bust out you know, what I want the arms to look like, and then I'll just go in and use the old Bad King monster parts, and I'll come in and get some feet or some hands, and then just kind of toss them in there. Alright, let's see. Can we get some of this? Kind of squash action happening in here without him making him look fat. Okay, so lats come in through here. This kind of planes off. Then you've got 1, 2, 3 for the serratus, and then you've got this kind of comes down like that. Okay. All right, so yeah, I've been doing some anatomy for quite some time, and there's still so many errors in this guy that like it's not even funny. But what I like to do is get kind of everything down, and then start kind of playing around with some things. And now I'm nowhere as good as some other people, but you just got to keep practicing, right? You know what? Let's work on his head for a little bit. Yeah, so character art in the video game industry. You guys want info? Have any questions? I'm all ears, baby. Let's just do some supporting. What is the best way to hand swappable body parts in video games? I think the biggest point for swappable parts is being super creative about like where those swappable parts are, and how clever you can be with making them different enough that it's not kind of stale and stampy. That's the real difficult part. typically what we do for heads is we'll just create a neck seam, and then we'll just kind of respect that neck seam in any of the outfits that we do. You'll run into some issues when you can actually see the seam, and then you kind of by hand have to go in and fix some of those seams and some of those textures. So um, we typically don't swap out like other body parts, like legs and hands and stuff. Um, a lot of times you'll just see that you have kind of some base meshes, and then you build most of your stuff off your base meshes, because you want the animators and the riggers to be able to have as many constants as possible. So when you start kind of like that's when you kind of get into trouble, is when you get off rig. And then animation is funky and all that stuff. So as for horns, I haven't really worked in a production setting where we're kind of swapping out horns and stuff. But I would guess that, I mean, it's definitely doable. You just have to make sure that your constant is like set in stone. It's like if we were going to be able to switch these out, say in like a character picker or something, you just have to make sure that whatever set goes along with this guy, that the base and the insertion point is exactly the same. So you should be able to kind of just sculpt whatever with keeping this area the exact same, or at least the location of that the exact same. So the other thing I typically do is when you get to this point, he's kind of vanilla. He's kind of like, oh, okay, it's a gym bro with weird feet. So we kind of have to get some personality to him. Like, what is his defining factor? Is he spiky? Is he, bony? Is he fleshy? So for me, I tend to focus on what the face feels like first, and what feels normal in the face, and then once that theme is established in the face, then I'll take that theme throughout the rest of the body. It's typically what I do. So even get some kind of nose that isn't fugly here. Good morning. Good morning. The other thing I like doing is, I'll peruse through different sources. Like maybe I'll look at some insects or something. You're like, maybe this guy is insectoid or something. And then I'll go through and like just look at like real world insects, and then you can come up with some really awesome textures and shape themes. Is it like spiky? Is it spiky? Hadoop is reusing animations with rig. Same bones, different rest position. Hadoop was reusing animations. Okay. So let me read your question again. How doable is reusing animations with a rig which has some bones but different rest position? Like, can I reuse an attack animation for a character that is shorter than the other? Last time I tried at the root motion broke the animation because there was a massive difference in the overall armature scale. Yeah, it's really tricky. It's really tricky to take a set of animations, and even though you have the same bone structure, to put that at a different scale is really, really tricky. I personally don't have a ton of experience with animation, but what I've done in the industry, in my own experience, is that you really got to be on the same rig if you want to share. There may be something that you can do like in Engine where you have like a scaling factor, but it's pretty much got to be a uniform scale. Like it, it can't be like, oh, we'll just use the same animation, we'll just lengthen the arms. Like that doesn't really work as far as I know. You really have to just do, if you're going to do some kind of scaling or changing, it has to be at least a uniform scale, and then it usually has to be kind of in Engine. Laura says, hey, are drawing foundations necessary for a character artist or not really? The only thing necessary for a character artist is being able to do interesting and awesome characters. So if most of your time has spent doing 3D sculpting, then that's fine. You don't need to have to know how to draw. The only time I'm drawing at work is pretty much never. And now that I think about it. Here's the thing that I always tell people, and for this particular question, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, do I need to know how to draw? No, you don't need to know how to draw. What you need to do is you need to be able to know how to make cool art, right? And that comes from understanding the basics of the art principles and being able to kind of capitalize on that and make something from it. So, pattern, repetition, small, large, medium shapes, those types of lessons, and being able to kind of get those core values down and what makes something awesome, and understanding what makes something awesome versus, what. Oh yeah, buddy. All right. We need a chorus of crossed fingers to see that if it saves on crash. Everybody crossing their fingers? Oh yeah. So what I always tell people is, the more you practice, the better you'll get. So if you're, quick save, give me that guy. Haha. Should we just sculpt in red wax for a while, just for shits and giggles? No, I can't do it. Sorry. So the more you practice, the better you'll get. Now you can't always sit in front of your computer, right? So that what I always tell people is, the more often you can practice, the better. So if that means that you only have access to a drawing pad, then yeah, do that. Hold on, forgot to save my hotkeys. Load. So you don't necessarily need to know how to draw, but it's really handy if that's all you have access to, and you want to practice your art skills. You know what I mean? So if you say, no, I'm not going to draw, well, then it kind of limits how often you can practice. You know what I mean? Okay, now we're back up and running. Oh, yeah. The new hatch brush. All right, let's take a look at that. So, H, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, hatch. What is hatch? It's kind of like clay buildup. Why is it different? I don't know why it's different. What up, Maniac? Maniac? Maniac. So me personally, I don't really sketch a whole lot. I used to a long time ago during school. I would just always keep something with me. It doesn't zigzag. Oh. Huh. It does strokes only in the first direction. Hmm. Interesting. I will have to look into that one more. What were we talking about? I feel like we were talking about something. Oh yeah, so I used to when I was learning, when I was doing the learns in my younger years, back in the '60s. Um, I used to just carry like a little moleskin or something around with me. That way, if I wasn't able to sculpt or something, then at least I could practice. And I never showed anybody my sketchbooks. So that was always the big thing for me, is that I'm like, I don't like showing people, or like, because it's just, for me it's just practice, you know. Um, and I didn't really want to be judged on my skill based on me just exploring some ideas or something, you know. So if you take out the factor of you know, people may look at my crappy sketches, well, just don't show it to anybody, you know. I'm trying to get some bigger shapes happening here. Old man demon. This is your father, old man demon. Go to your room, little demon. I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks lately, sorry. So, I'll show you how I do eyes real quick. We'll just do this again. Over. From nothing. Oh, if you don't raise the pen. So brush. We're gonna do it live. I'm gonna see mortar. I'm gonna see. Hatch backtrack. Okay, do hatch. Okay, so I'm not gonna lift the pen. Ready? Not lifting the pen. Still, I don't see it. I don't see it. I'll play with it. I'll play with it some. But here's how I do eyeballs. So typically I'll just, you know what I'm gonna do before we do that. before we do that, I'm going to dupe this guy. Whoa! That's a little much. A little much. So let's dupe this guy first. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip his head off. And then I'm just going to work on his head. And then I'll work on later on attaching it back on. Because right now what I'm doing is if I'm sculpting with Sculptris Pro, it has to take into account all of this pretty much for every stroke. So it tends to slow down a little bit when you start getting into doing smaller little details and stuff. So I'm going to reduce all that just by ripping his head off. And we'll just maybe we'll keep all of this here. That way we can at least get an idea of action. There we go. So let's do delete hidden. Oh man, look at that. He's way bigger up here. Holy Jesus. Carry a sketch pad in your pack when I go to work. If I see something interesting, I try to sketch it on. But yeah. Yeah, there's all kinds of things, crazy things out there. So what I'm going to do real quick is let's duplicate this guy. Let's dynamic him so we can close all that. I'm just going to clean this shit up real quick. I've got potty mouth this morning. You'll have to excuse me. I'm just going to clean up those edges real quick. So what happens is sometimes it can get too small and like some weird stuff happens and you get this kind of thing. So I'll just get rid of that. Just hide this, hide that. We'll do delete hidden and then we'll just do another. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus, what are you doing? Good God, man. Okay. So we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it this way. So if that doesn't work, typically what I'll do is I'll just use the inflate brush and just come in here and just add. Just add some of this like this, and then just redo that a couple of times. Yeah, that's good. I don't worry about like extracting something, because typically what I'll do is I'll just go back and just take the areas that I really want to keep and then just reproject it onto the old one. And then you don't have to worry about all this crap over here, you know? Man, this is ugly in here. So yeah, I'll typically just I'll focus on one area. Come on, buddy. Do the thing. Let's do brush smooth. I have a stronger smooth. I do. If I go into brush, and if I go into smooth, there is a stronger smooth stronger. Okay, that's fine. There we go. So that'll help. That'll help. This is kind of a little nightmare, real quick. There we go. There we go. Yeah, typically the Dynamesh will close all the holes. So it's usually when you see like holes like that, it's because they're kind of like folding in on themselves. There we go. Let's just get rid of all those. Okay, so now I have a little bit of a base, and then what I'll do is oh god, I don't like this color. Is that even on? I can't even tell if that's on or not. I think it is, yes. Alright, so from the hand up is what I have on. You know what, let's just do, let's go to Z plugin. Let's do sub tool master, delete invisible. Yeah. There we go. Cool. Cleaned everything up. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Let's go back to project real quick. I'm gonna have to do that over again. Quick save. Let's just grab this guy again. We'll do it again. We'll do it again. It's okay. I didn't realize that. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is delete invisible. If I had solo on, so let's do delete invisible. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Then we'll just do that again real quick. So we'll grab this dude, we'll duplicate him. How can you activate the two top corner silhouettes? You have to be in ZBrush 2020. How do you know the edges are going to line up with the original mesh when you place the extracted piece back on? So, that's a very good question. And the answer is I don't really have to worry about it, because what I'm going to do is just reproject back on my original. Okay, let's see if we can do this again. So let's delete hidden. Let's duplicate this guy. So let's turn everything off. And we're going to re-dynamesh this guy. Let's just do this again real quick. Ooh. So I'm not worried about this at all. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sculpt on the face. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this guy. Just mask this off. And then reproject with this. So I'm not worried about this at all, because all I'm going to change is really this stuff here, and then reproject it from this one onto this one. So I'm not worried about this stuff down here, like literally at all. Not worried about it one bit. I just don't want it to be super crazy messy. Because what's going to happen is if it's super crazy messy, then you're going to end up spending a lot of polys down here, and I don't really want to do that. That's not the idea of what I'm trying to do at the moment. You know what I mean? So redynamish again real quick. Really don't care. I don't care. The other thing that you do actually is you could turn on your pro. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So what? You can actually take a look at this in Geo. So if you turn on Sculptris Pro and you go in and you smooth, what it does is it automatically redynameshes based on your brushstroke. So what I could do is just come in here and do that to the edge like this. It's just going to redynamesh it real quick, just in those areas. It's actually what I should have done from the beginning. So it smooths and redynameshes. Pretty cool, huh? And it's like, again, it's all based on your brush size. Okay, let's clean up those. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this guy back on. And now we have both of these guys. Alright. So I'm just going to take this. Don't want the ears. Don't really care about the ears at this point. I don't care about all this. I don't care about all of this. Just kind of care about that area. So now what I'll do is I'll go back and then we'll just reproject that. So project all. Okay, so what I'll do, say maybe 256. Uh, 512. There we go. And now I'll just mask that off real quick. Project all. There we go. Now I got some of that detail back. Cool. So don't need that guy anymore. You can turn this dude back on. Let's just turn everybody back on. Okay, there we go. So again, I'm not worried about that line at all. Now what I can do is on this guy. Ooh, that was a hard crash. You see that? Ooh. Ooh. That was like instant crash. Not even like, hey, by the way, we're going to just crash right now. And then don't worry, we'll save. Okay. We're going to skip that. Blame Kyle. ABBK. Always be blaming Kyle. We're going to try one more time. But now you guys know what I'm going to do. So, ZBrush, Subtool Master, delete invisible. Okay, cool. Alright, let's duplicate this guy. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Alright, I'm not going to make these mistakes any longer. Load. Hotkeys. Jeebus. Okay, hotkeys loaded. This time we're going to store. Hey-o. Okay, so that's stored. Cool. And then this time we're going to save. We're going to save it into this guy. We're going to call it number 6. Cool. Instant crash. Do you like that? Dude, that was like... I haven't seen it crash like that in a long time, actually. It was just like, nope, it's gone. ZBrush is gone. This time we'll just take this. There we go. Some things never change. Delete hidden. Duplicate. Okay, this time what we'll do is we'll go to 56. Actually, you know, let's just do 512 right off the bat. And then we can just save it from there. That's fine. I don't need to reproject it. Whatever. Whatevs. So again, I'm just using the Sculptris Pro on my smooth. And that's redynameshing this little area. We can do close holes, which is fine. Close holes is in Tools, Geometry, Close Holes. So you can also use that guy if you'd like. Okay. And we'll just go from there. So now, where we were, I'll take this guy and then I will, I'll just hide that. So it'll just work like this. Cool. Now I can go to my heart's content on this guy and it'll be much better. Alright, so after all of that, I'm going to show you how I do eyeballs. Not eyeballs, but the eye socket real quick. Right? So let's say we don't have anything in here. So what I would do is I'll just kind of sculpt out how the orbit looks. So like maybe just kind of do something like that. All right, and then I'll take and append in some eyeballs like this. I'll just take one sphere, so I'll just come in, grab a sphere, bring that down to the correct size, and then I'll duplicate it and move it over. So then you got something like this, right? You're like, okay, well now what the heck do I do? So I use ghosting, which is right here, or transparent and ghost. So why I do that is because when you don't have that on and you try to sculpt beneath something, you don't always successfully sculpt behind another subtool. So the way you can do that is just turning on ghosting, and then you can come in and then I'll just kind of sculpt this up. So just sculpt this in like this. And then I'll start shaping what I want the top eyelid to do. And then the bottom eyelid. Then I can move this stuff around a little bit to change the eye opening. Right? And then usually I'll come in with a dam standard and then just pull out that the shelf of the eyelid, or whatever the thickness is going to be. Like, this is obviously way too thick, so I'll just knock it back a little bit. Let's turn that off for this guy. Ooh. So just smooth that out again. And then I'll come in with my dam standard. And then I'll give that a little bit of shelf. Look at it. Just make sure that the thickness around the eye is pretty consistent. That will give you an idea of how thick the skin is. Right, there we go. And then we can just sculpt around it. Alright, what does he have? Something like that. Right, so that's how I'll do the eye. Pretty quick and easy. No, I'm not using the concept for this guy. I'm just having some fun. Seeing what I can come up with. So what I'll do is I'll get just kind of like a base idea for what I want to do, like this, and then I'll go and find, and that's what we're gonna do next, is we're gonna find some reference. You're like, okay, well, you know, I could come in here, but I haven't done enough creatures like some other people have, so I don't really have an idea right now of the theme that I want this guy to have for his skin, right? Or like what are his features? Is he spiky? Is he melty? Is he does he have armor pieces or something? I don't know yet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna gather some reference live, right about yeah. Okay, what we're gonna do is let me just grab a new. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this live here. We're gonna go for cool insects. Ooh, that's cool. Look at that dude. Dang-a-lang. That guy's cool. It's a little too uniform, though. That's cool. Look at that guy. And then I usually go down this road a bit, you know? Like, oh, the mantis has really cool stuff, right? It's got all these, like, small little shapes. You know, they're different sizes. He's got small little claws, and maybe we'll go something else. Oh my god, that is freaky. That's cool. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, he's so cute. And then, like, you because you know what position this guy's in and like what he's been through, and where he's at the moment. Then you can kind of like in your brain, that guy's really freaking cool. You can kind of imagine this on your dude. Oh yeah, this is really really cool too. Let's see if there's anything in here that I really like. That guy's cool. That's kind of cool. So anyways, like you kind of you can look at a lot of different ones and get these cool ideas. You know, like I like these little like ribs that are happening. Right? That's pretty cool. Right? Like these guys there, that's cool. I like how he has these little spines. It's pretty awesome. Let's go back to this guy. That's crazy. Yo, that is nuts. Like, look at that though. Like, some really, really, really awesome reference. Like, that's pretty cool. Even this, right? Like, when you come in here and look at how everything underneath, you know, like, these are some interesting landmarks, but like, what does the normal surface look like? That's cool. This is really awesome. And like, what do the horns look like? Like, what is the horn versus where it comes out? You know, what does that transition point look like? What are the color differences and value differences? Dang. Let's look back at, yeah, like this is typically where I'll come in and get ideas. I try to get ideas from real life stuff instead of other art. This guy is furry. Whoa. I don't want too furry. Dang. Just because I'd rather take the idea from something that is real. Looks like a strawberry. Dude, this guy's crazy. The only issue I have with this method is that you can really quickly just lose yourself in the reference. Yeah, right. Exactly. Let's see what this guy looks like. Shield bug, stag beetle. Let's look at this guy. Even, just getting some ideas for what the micro surface looks like. It's pretty cool. I really like this right here. This, like, you look at one little thing, you're like, oh, dude, yeah. And then, like, you can have, like, these little ridges with all these spikes and stuff. That's cool. Okay. I like that idea. I like that idea. Okay, then we could just work on a shape here for a little bit. Kind of got a big head. Frazetta seam would be cool. Do it. Nothing's stopping you, man. Nothing's stopping you. Morning. How are my girls? Awake. See that. Hi. Good morning. Hi. How's it going? You want to say hi to everybody? Do you want to say hi? Come here, you can say hi. Come here. Come here. Ah, look at... Whoa. Look at that little bundle. Oh, good morning. What are you working on, Dad? Demons and bugs, man. Demons and bugs. Oh, my. Demons and bugs. Demons and bugs. Is that guy cool? You gonna say hi? Hello. Hi. Hi. You can't say, Dad, you're waving to your computer. What are you doing? Haven't had my coffee yet. Yeah, man. This is Daddy's nerd station. And it has all the cool stuff that you cannot play with. Hi. Hi. Dad, what do you got on your eyes and your head? You like you're an alien. Yeah. What, Dad? Are you doing a self-portrait? Of you without coffee? What was that? That's weird. You gonna go back and see Mom? Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm done, Dad. Okay. Say bye, everybody. Bye. 8 hour. All right. What? What, dude? All right. Where were we? Yeah, she's a little kitty. That she is. All right, let's get the eyes. Let's get the eyes situated first. Yep, that's my little one. I already let the dogs outside. All right, let's see if we can get some plane change coming through here. Let's see. See if we can get at least this nose looking a little bit cooler. Yep, that's my precious. My precious. So I kind of want to make sure that my reeds are doing the things that I want. So I always want to make sure that this is really awesome. I like that. The shapes are reading as something relatively interesting. Maybe a little bit more jaw over here. Get see if we can get this working better. Now the shapes don't really feel So what I'm looking at is I'm always looking at my silhouette as well. Whenever I'm rotating around, I'm looking here, and I'm always looking here. It's typically, you know, like what is this? This being kind of flat in here, this looks a little weird. Maybe this comes in a little bit more. Like this is this super flat plane. Having to type in another program, cut and paste. It's a little weird, dude. Alright, so I want the actual shape differences here between the socket and the zygoma. Okay, and then so I like this kind of this spiny thing happening. So I think what I'm going to do on some of my larger shapes, may start adding some of this type of stuff. This is really cool. Alright, so some of these areas maybe we'll kind of bring some of this spiky bits in. Maybe he's got it's fun to kind of play around with some shapes. I think what I'm going to do is let's try to use this history brush as well. Kind of cool. So let's say this is where I want to be. So then we can control click, right? And that will put that there. And it will remember this, which is pretty cool. So then we can come back and say, all right, well, what if we do some crazy. The cool thing then is you can say, well, yeah, I kind of like this stuff happening up here, but this stuff is kind of weird, right? So I should be able to save this first. I should be able to use that history brush. So the new one, which is history recall, right? It's basically kind of like a morph target, and what it's doing is it's remembering this state right here, wherever that was. So then I can like, maybe I just want to kind of pull some of this out. So it's a little bit like morph targets. Let's see if I can just kind of get some happy accidents coming through here. Then maybe what we'll do is we'll do some displace. And just see how. Let's see how this works. Let me get some spinies. Then what I could do is say, let's say I like that. I can just go, all right, well, let's replace that history. So control click again. There we go. And then now I can come in here and, you know, let's do something like this. Yeah, I'll probably what I'll do is, I mean, I'll probably play around with some of the new poly paint tools. I think that would be fun. Maybe we'll use Snake Hook as well. Problem with Snake Hook is it's a little extreme. You know, maybe we can get some of that kind of thing happening. You're like, man, I don't think I like that very much, so I can go back and use the history recall and just kind of pull this back. Yeah, I don't like that particular one. Maybe we can use pinch. What does pinch do? Nope, not really. I'm going to try displace, and then we'll use a larger intensity. Let's go down to like 1. Maybe 2. No. See if we can just get something cool happening in here like this. Oh yeah, that's cool. Cool. And then what we can do is this is kind of cool. We'll use, where's the twirl brush? I think there's twirl, swirl, swirl. Let's go S, spiral, I think is the one. Let's try that guy. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm just trying to get some kind of like interesting things happening. In this area. Then maybe we can use some damn standard and kind of pull out some of these pieces here. So let's say I like that. Let's say, yeah, that's kind of cool. Alright. Maybe we can even go a little bit further and say, yeah, this kind of has like this integration. So I'm just kind of playing around with a theme, you know? Maybe this theme will turn out pretty cool. Okay, and then maybe what I can do is, let's see if we can get this recall brush happen. Let me save this again real quick. Alright, so let's go brush. Let's do extractor, I think is what it was. So I think you hit G. Oh no, that's not it. They were hitting G on the video that I was watching, but that's not going to work because my G is reassigned already. Nope. What is... Okay, let's go into... Maybe it's in brush. Let's try to find it. Create. No, we didn't finish the Titan yet. I'll find texture, auto masking, from mesh. Does anybody know what? Because I think you're supposed to hit like G when you're using this extractor brush, and it will switch the brush to like the record mode. Then you should be able to record it and then play it back. Basically, is what you do. But I have G reassigned. I guess you know what I could do? I could go in and just do restore, startup hotkeys. Nope, can't do that. Okay. But there should be a way to. Maybe it's in stroke. Sculptors Pro, no. To record. Let's say create. I can't read any of this. Let's see. No, not in depth. Modifiers. Nope. Auto masking. Smooth brush, clip brush. Alright, anyways. We'll move on from that. I'll figure it out later. But let's see what that looks like. Chimeran, yes, absolutely. If you go to my website right there, it has everything in there. Or you can go to my ZBrush Live author page, and it should have everything else there as well. I'm on all the socials of the medias. So yeah, that feels kind of cool. Alright, then maybe what we'll do is we'll take that idea and kind of expand on it. So what if he's got one that comes back? If he's got kind of this divot that comes back like this, and then in that divot maybe he'll have some cool breakup. So I'll play around with ideas like this, right? And I'll kind of am like, okay, cool. This idea is pretty cool. I like that. Can I do that on a larger scale? What can I do with that? And then I can try and start doing some patterns. A lot of times, what I'll do is I'll start playing with some. Right. Okay. So like this is shape ideas. But what happens here? You know, what what's happening? I'm really good at, you know. Nope. I want smaller because I want to add some geo in here. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just take like one little area. Again, what I'm doing is I'm just using the smooth brush with the Sculptress Pro on, and I'm using a smaller brush size, and what that's doing is it's subdividing everything for me. And maybe I'll do it even smaller. Because basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing with some alphas and some shapes and see if I can come up with, you know, a skin texture that will help me get the overall theme of this guy. Alright, so like maybe we'll go to the standard brush and maybe we'll use our drag rec and let's see what kind of fun and interesting ideas we can come up with. Or we could use drag dot, I think. Or spray. Like, it's not really remarkable. Before I do that, though, I want to, whichever one I am on, I want to make sure that my Sculptress Pro is off. Because I want to keep this topology. Let's turn off lazy mouse. And then you can start just kind of, you know, maybe trim dynamic could be interesting. Hey, look, stucco. Ever wondered how to make stucco? There you go. Okay. Maybe not that. Let's try some different things. I like displace is actually pretty cool. And then maybe you can come up with some cool pockmark feel. Alright, and then maybe we can do some let's use a different one. Let's use maybe this guy. And the cool thing is, what you should be able to do is you should be able to use the extractor brush, and then just make yourself a new alpha and brush using that, right? And it could be that, you know, you don't like any of this that's happening. But maybe we'll do some inflate. You just never know what you're going to come up with. So this is typically the way that I kind of just play around and kind of fart around with some different experiments and see what I can come up with. That's kind of cool. It almost looks like pustulous. Right? You never know. what'll happen. You know, maybe what if it's like crosshatch? Kind of skin, you know? And then probably what I would do is, oh, maybe not that far. Nope. Let's see where I started this. There, and then let's put our control point there. Okay, there. Alright, and then so now I can come here, and then we'll use our history recall brush. You know, maybe what I can do... What's up, Bo? How you doing, man? Maybe just kind of pull some of it out. You know, you can use... It's interesting. Not really remarkable, but interesting. Yeah, I'm going to clean up some of this out here. Or let's just wipe it. Swiper no swipey. And try something else. Alright, let's try something else. If you have more alphas, that's actually good. So let's see what alphas we have in our... What have we got in here? Yeah, look. We got some of those. NPR alphas. Maybe we can come up with something cool from these guys. Maybe let's try a drag rack. Okay. Turn the intensity up a little bit. Whatever I try to do in this method, I try to keep it to like 2 or 3 steps tops, so that I can reproduce it. It's like, okay, maybe that's cool. Maybe I'll come in with my inflate and then kind of hit some of these areas and give it a little bit of... Okay, maybe what we'll do is we'll use this guy now. Maybe not like that, maybe like this. Add some surface breakup in there. Hold on one sec, guys. Okay. What's up, Bo? How you doing? Okay, what was I on? Displace? Yeah. Maybe we can... Let's use displace, and then we'll go... Let's try to grab... I don't know, maybe this dude. Kind of noisy and gross, huh? You know, maybe there's some pustules. So this is just kind of exploring, you know, different ideas for what the skin's surface may look like. I can come in and kind of pull some of this out. You know, maybe some of these other pieces can kind of play into these. Nimlot, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Working on some demon. Some demon. Oh! Yeah, decided to do some organics today. And we're just playing around with some possible skin textures. Just chilling. Are you streaming today? Thanks, man. Guys, if you don't know Nimlot26, he does some really awesome character work on his channel. So I would suggest giving him a peek. Not streamed during the weekend. Well, you do stream a lot, so I'll give you tea. Thanks, man. I don't know. So this is another variation that we can do. Maybe in some areas. I don't really like it too much, but you know, whatever. That's the part of. So far, so good. I have a couple of my keyboard shortcuts changed around, so the extractor brushes aren't working for me at the moment. So I got to figure out how to fix that. But I like the history recall. It's really cool. I'm a big fan of the morph targets, but I always forget to use them. So hopefully this one will be a little bit more prevalent and help me more, and I'll remember to use it. All right, let's turn the Sculptors Pro back on. We'll just have some fun for the rest of the time. We got about 25 minutes left. Let's turn this back to this. Yeah, I haven't had a ton of time either. I'm just kind of we're just kind of figuring it out as we go here. Let's see if we can get some interesting things happening. All right, so so how are some of these spiny bits going to work around the eye? Yeah, don't remind me, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. I've finished every single character I've ever worked on. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Yeah, I know, man. Well, here's the problem, honestly, and this is for everybody else too, is that uh, once it gets most of my personal time is actually spent hanging out with you guys doing this exact thing. You know, playing around with ZBrush and stuff. So once 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 my project gets past ZBrush, I don't really have a lot a lot of personal time to finish those other projects. So a lot of times, what happens, it just kind of sits for a while until I feel guilty enough that I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably finish that. I spent enough time on it. A while? How about years, bro? Years. You got all those years. That's kind of cool. I really want to finish up that barbarian dude. He's pretty far along. Just finish it. I know, right? I know. Starting to sound like my mother. Just finish your homework. You already put enough time into it. Just do it. Don't waste your time with new projects. If you don't know how to finish, you probably shouldn't start in the first place. No, but you're right. You are right. I mean, when you're right, you're right. You know? What are you working on now, dude? You're always working on something cool. You were working on hair not too long ago, weren't you? Yeah, on that hair. Are you using X-Gen for that? Oh, yeah. Good luck, man. I don't miss Ritapo. Oh, okay. What do you use for Ritapo? Topica. Okay. See if I can get this plane to be a little bit deeper in here. They're still developing that, huh? I don't think I've ever used Topigun, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, you got to use what you're comfortable with, right? Let's see if I can get this nose section feeling a little bit better. We got enough geo. Let's see. Let's just add a little bit more geo in here. And sometimes when I'm using Sculptris Pro and I need a little bit more, I'll just come in and just kind of go over some of this area real quick. And then I'll turn Sculptris Pro off and then just sculpt with just okay. Now we'll turn that off, and then I should have enough to kind of just play around with. Yeah, there we go. See if we can get some interesting shapes happening. Yeah, I mean, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever your Topo Gun 3 developed by Tom Cruise. um, whatever you're comfortable with, for sure. I mean, I'm actually most comfortable retopoing in Moto. See if we can get this looking a little bit better here. Sorry, zoning out just a little bit here, guys. So if you got any questions, I'm happy to keep chatting. Just kind of zoning out to some good vibes. I'm going to add a little bit more geo in here. What's up, Mike? How you doing, man? How's life? Hopefully it's good. Alright, let's see if maybe we can get... some interesting patterns happening through here. Actually going to Add a little bit more through here. A little bit too much of a discrepancy through there, so. Okay. Turn Sculpt Pro back off. There we go. Now I got a little bit more I can play with in here. I kind of like this spiny theme happening. I'm alright with it. Yeah. That's a little bit too thick. We'll just push that guy in a little bit. Okay, let's see if we can get this guy to match a little bit better on the other side here. Dougie, you bastard. No bacon. No bacon for you. Let's make sure that this is about the same size here. Actually, it looks like this is a little bit bigger than the other eye. Yeah. So these kinds of little pieces are kind of reading well from far away too. So really want to make sure that those are reading well. Yeah, I'm thinking it needs wings too, actually. Actually, you know what? Let's do that real quick. Let's fart around with some wings. So what I'm gonna do is let's just append a sphere. Grab this dude. I'm gonna bring him up here. then we are going to just play around some shapes real quick. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm definitely not as good off the bat with creature stuff as Ashley is, and I actually take some of the stuff, some of the ideas from her. She got some really cool ideas. I like how she uses geo and the lack of geo to help kind of express some shapes. It's really cool. Sometimes your scene isn't exactly the correct size. So you see, like I'm getting all the way up to 1,000 on my draw size. That happens, you can go into preferences, draw, and then just increase your brush size. That's only kind of a stopgap, though. I think the better thing to do is to just resize everything before it gets too crazy. Maybe we can mirror. Oh, that's interesting. Let's duplicate this guy and then mirror him. He does need something. Maybe not those ones. Of course, these are kind of a little bit more angel wings. What if we take... Ah, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it. We'll see how it goes. It's still in some early stages of kind of craziness. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I think what I need to do is I need to ground him as well. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just throw in a cube here real quick. No, let's not do a cube. Let's do a sphere. Let's delete that guy. That's fine. Got this dude. And let's just mess around with this guy and see if we can get some kind of Some kind of base. Something. See if we can get it to help with the overall composition as well. You know, maybe he's got this kind of like this swirl, this action kind of happening, you know? Who knows? Some weirdness. Fun thing at this point is just you're just kind of fartsing around, see what kind of lands and what doesn't, you know? Maybe we'll put him on a little pedestal. Who knows? Who knows? Let's do some. Let's do a little. Little break up. I don't know. I suck at rocks, so we'll see how this turns out. And what we'll do is maybe we'll merge this down. So merge down, that's fine. And then maybe what we'll do is we can dynamesh that. Maybe not that high. Let's try 56. There we go. Backface mask is helpful for this. So you don't do that. That's fine. Interesting. I forgot you can't have back face mask on while you're doing Sculptris Pro. Interesting. Anyways, so that's what we got today. Any other final questions for our Q&A? Kind of got rid of that, like, nice swirl, didn't it? Anyways, that's kind of cool. We'll see where it goes. Cool. All right. I think that's about it for today. I think probably next session we'll get back to the mech. Well, this is really cool for using the that silhouette though. What's up, Rock? How you doing, man? Maybe we can actually. Yeah, that's cool. All right, that's been fun. Got to do a little bit of. No, I'm just gonna have to go ahead and have bacon now. You said bacon too many times. All right. So yeah, we farted around with some theming, some skin theming with this guy, and yeah, had some fun. All right. Until next time. I think I'm not back until sometime in December, so I'm gonna take a little bit of time off in November for family stuff. So we will go from there. And that silhouette view is so cool. All right. If you guys haven't followed the Pixelogic channel here on Twitch, I highly suggest you follow that. There's a lot of other amazing artists on here. So if you'd like to follow my channel, it's on the bottom. It's just twitch.tv/Brendon Isaiah Bengtson. And I hope you guys had some fun. I hope you guys learned a couple things. And most of all, I hope you were inspired to go make your own cool shenanigans. So do it. Make some shenanigans. Make the dope awesomeness. All right. Have a good one.